What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about something that is pretty crazy, but I want to put out a video because it is definitely going to change the direction of the entire YouTube channel, the direction of the content that we can put out, and really the overall aspect of everything that you're going to be seeing coming from the channel in the future. I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you've already saw that I made the huge decision to quit my full-time job and actually go full-time handyman. So you can see that I'm sitting in our new tool trailer here that you will see get reworked throughout the course of this journey. But I did make a huge jump in careers, and a scary jump, but something that I'm super excited about, and I kind of want to talk about it today and just document the entire process, kind of the thought behind why I did what I did, how it's going to change my life, and how it's going to improve hopefully my income, as well as my freedom to be able to kind of pick and choose my schedule, and how all of that is going to impact my daily life. So a little bit of my backstory. I spent 5 years right after high school working at a tire shop as a mechanic. That's actually what I went to college for, and got ASE certified, so I had national certifications to be a mechanic. And I did that for 5 years, and I honestly never thought that I would get out of working on cars. Throughout my high school and college years growing up, all of my Christmas presents, it had something to do with tools or a toolbox or something to do with that career, just because that was what I knew I wanted to do. But after the 5 years, I got married, we were talking about having kids. The place I was working at, I didn't get insurance or benefits or anything like that. And it really got me looking outside of the box for a different type of employment. I actually landed at a Target warehouse, and I started a career there that also lasted 5 years. Actually spent time there. I worked my way up a little bit. I took a promotion as a lead warehouse worker, so I was in between the regular team members and the managers up top. And that allowed me to grow not only professionally, but also personally. As I went through that journey and I was planning on moving up in my career there, trying to get up into management, and kind of the sky was the limit at Target as far as a career went. I guess the big question is what took me away from that. I gave up all the benefits, I gave up the vacation, the safety of a paycheck coming in every day in order to embark on this crazy journey. So a little bit of the backstory of our family. We've got 2 boys, one is almost 3, and we've got an 8-month-old now. And our youngest, within his first 6 months of life, spent 2 months in the hospital, which of course we were in the hospital with him. For his first 6 months with paternity leave, with those 2 hospital stays, I only spent about 2.5 months actually working my job. Long story short, he does have an extremely rare genetic disorder called congenital myasthenic syndrome, which is totally treatable, and now that we have a treatment for everything, it is getting a lot easier. During the day, we have to give him medicine. He eats through a feeding tube in his stomach, and honestly, it just takes a lot of time from us to be able to do that. And until we had a diagnosis, the possibility of us having to go back to the hospital at any point was just so intense that anytime I was at my job, that's all I was thinking about. My head wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I wasn't being the best leader I could be. And it was just taking such a toll on my mental health that we kind of decided to go just completely off the wall and do this. I know one of the big things that people always say when they talk about starting a business or changing careers is that right now is not the right time. And for us, when you sit in a hospital room for 2 months and all you do is talk and think and really look into the future of your life, we just decided to make now the right time. They starting out as a mechanic, I have always been really good with my hands. I'm good at doing projects. I've always loved doing projects. Even when I worked at Target, I spent a ton of my time in the warehouse improving processes, coming up with little designs that can make the job a little bit easier or faster for the team. And that was always something that I loved doing. So when I thought about starting my own business, I had a few different options. You know, my first thought was going back as a mechanic. I always said if I ever left my job to start working on cars again, I knew I would do it for myself, just because I have the ability and the knowledge to start a business and run a business, and seeing how much potential income I could have. That's what always drove me to the self-employment side of it. But just because of where our house is and the permit requirements and some of the paperwork that we would have to go through to actually run a shop out of our garage, it was really just going to be a little bit too complicated, or more complicated than I wanted to get into. So I started looking at other things. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I love lawn care. I love working on my yard, and that is something that I was already doing part-time. And I thought about expanding that, just going full-time lawn care. But honestly, there's kind of a cap on that. But for the market with lawn care, you don't really have a margin that you can increase. You know, you're pretty much set with the market. The only way you make more money is if you mow more yards. And that's something I didn't really want to do either, because it would basically be like being an hourly employee working for somebody else. So the third option was starting what I'm doing now, like a handyman. So the cool thing about being a handyman is in North Carolina, your job is capped at $30,000, but you can do a lot of work in one job for $30,000. So we have already lined up bathroom remodels. We've done a lot of painting projects. We're doing some small odds and ends stuff for people, but it allows me to do any job from changing a light fixture like all the way up to a bathroom remodel. And I can do everything in the middle, and the scope of the income is very dependent on the job that we're doing. So that's something that I really love, because when I quote the market, if we can get really efficient at our job, we have potential to make a really, really good income. And not only that, but as a handyman, I still allow myself one day to do lawn care, which is something for me. It's just nice. I enjoy it. Like I say, I sit back on the mower for one day a week, just go out and mow some yards. And it's a good day where I make a little bit of money and I don't really have to do a lot of thinking. So as of right now that you're seeing this video, we have been in business for a little over a month, and currently we are booked out 2 months. And that is something, when you think about starting a business, you always worry about, well, how am I going to get clients? How am I going to get income? How am I always going to have jobs lined up? And for us, since our family was in the hospital for so long, we were putting updates on Facebook of our son all the time, and it kind of made all of our posts on Facebook be something that just spread out. So I put out a little filler post just asking people if they had odd jobs, and from that one post, I had enough people message me that I probably could have quit my job that day and went full-time and started the business and been just fine. But I backed off from that because I did go back to work for a little bit. Then our second hospital trip came with our son, and in that whole hospital trip, I started making the transition. So that was where I started creating my website, creating the brand, really diving into if this was something that we could do. And ultimately, you know, we made the decision to go for it, and so far everything's been perfect. We have clients, we have jobs lined up, and we have done 0 advertising currently. So just from word of mouth and just from people knowing who we were, knowing that we can start doing these jobs, like I say, we've got everything lined up. But I'm excited to get back to the YouTube. I finally got everything grounded enough where I feel like I have enough time that I can sit down, make some of these videos, talk to you guys, and really push the content out every week. And my ultimate goal is to do 1 business related video a week and 1 job related video a week. And now that we are doing this full time and we have different jobs coming in, we have different projects we're doing, different things that I can put on the do it yourself. I can talk about how we priced it, did we make money, did we lose money, how the business is doing. There's just so many different options for things to talk about now, and that's what makes me really excited about this platform. And hopefully that you guys will subscribe to the channel and just follow along with the journey as we grow and learn a little bit yourselves. But with that, that is a little bit of the backstory of who I am, how I got to this point, kind of what thought process I had leading up to the decision to become a full-time handyman. And as we get farther along in the channel, different topics will come up, such as how we price our handyman jobs. Do I think the lawn care side of it's making me money? How we're going to expand our business, what roles that we play within the business. Obviously, you see the trailer here is not organized, so we will do videos on trailer organization, how we get this thing ready, how I paid for the trailer. That might be something that's interesting just starting out, and kind of going step by step on everything that we do throughout this first business year and then into the future from that. But again, I hope you guys will hit that subscribe button and like it if you think this content is going to be good, and share these videos with anybody you know that might be in this industry or thinking about doing something in this industry, because it'll definitely help them out and it'll help the channel grow as well. With that, I'm excited to get back into making videos, and I hope that I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.